Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm Srinidhi and I hope you're all doing good. So here I'm back to this channel, and it's been a very long time since I posted any long form video, but here I am. So it's been a very long time since I read anything, but the last book that I read, which needs a serious discussion unlike any other books that I've ever read in my life. That book is A Thousand Splendid Suns, is an heartfelt note for you all about what I felt while reading this book. So, this is not a book review. If you are thinking about whether this book is good or not, whether you should read this, even without continuing further, I strongly recommend you all to read this book. And if you want a sign, I think this video should be a sign for you to read this book. So, yeah, this book is my favorite book of all the books that I've ever read in my life. And I didn't know that this one book had all the power, to change my definition of what's a good book should be. So this book revolves around two beautiful female characters who are called as Mariam and Laila. They lead two different lives. Okay, let's start from Mariam. Mariam is someone who lives with her mother. According to the society, she is considered as illicit child. Okay, she always waits for her father to come and to read her the favorite book, or just say what happens in the place which he's living, because according to the societal pressures, he never really visits or stay with Mariam. Okay, because they are not family. She's an illicit kid, so I never want to address her like that because she deserved more. So from a very young age, she didn't deserve a good love which she really expected. The world which she has imagined, the father figure that she has imagined, just flipped in a day when mother, died. And how her life quickly changes. You know, she had never been to school. She's just a girl. She's a mere girl who has never faced life, and one day just turned upside down, and she was married at the age of 14. She was married to this guy called as Rashid, and she was sent to Kabul, and the life is so different there. So this is where the main plot comes. Okay, and you all will not gonna like Rashid because that shows the reality. Mariam's and Rashid's marriage shows the reality of many couple. Okay, which we won't really talk about, the harassment, even the verbal abuse, and more than see, it starts just from small restrictions, which I don't think it is small. She is a person who's never had that exposure, but now suddenly she's being on the restriction is cannot be justified, and slowly that verbal abusement turns into physical harassment, and how she lives in that boundary is so hurting. Okay, and the second female protagonist is Alela. She's very different from Mariam. Okay, her childhood is very different from Mariam. Father and mother, like mainly her father, is very supportive because he wanted Laila to continue the education of, he supported education for women. And back, this story is happening in 1970s or 80s, where Afghanistan women were so ahead of the time. Okay, they used to go to the colleges, they followed that westernized culture, they worked as equal to men, and that's how the life was for the women in Afghanistan. But it suddenly changes when the war comes, the Taliban comes. It just changes. So Lela was always told that education is important, and her parents were very supportive. So on the other hand, there is another character who is Laila's best friend called as Tariq. He's a very beautifully written character, and how their lives sink in, and from being best friends, how they turn into lovers. That innocent love, which is beautifully written. How just being kids, and suddenly the other day they are no more kids and they're two adults. I will not spoil further, because as how they're two different female protagonist story, sings in or links together is the story is about. And one thing I really support or really think is, whatever happened to Mariam, she didn't deserve it. Okay, she's such a strong woman. For people who think that she is just a girl, she was in that household for locked up for years and years until she was aged and wrinkled, but she is one of the strongest female characters that I've ever read. In other books, every female are strong, okay, but there are only some books which no powerfully describes it, and this is one among those books. So if you're a woman, you should read this book, and if you're a man watching this video, you have to read this book in the perspective of a woman. So that's all about this. And if I talk more, the more spoilers will leak. I don't want the fun for the first time readers to get spoiled, because I wish that certain books that I have to read, like I'm reading it for the first time, so I don't want to spoil that experience for you all guys. I think whatever I've said is like too much, but I don't want to give any more spoilers. So if you're looking for a sign, this is a book, just go and read this book. You will love this book. You might not. That depends on you, but this book will leave a strong imprint in your heart and your mind. So that's all. So thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you all guys in the next video. Bye.